Hello and welcome to By Environi Season 2. My guest tonight comes from a family that's been ruling the business for years and decades and all of that. An actor who has a lot of potential. I feel like one correct movie and will prove all of it. That's what a lot of people around you have been saying too. We've had a few differences in the beginning. We'll discuss all of that. Harsh, welcome to By Environi.
Thank you so much for having me. This is going to be a lot of fun.
I believe it.
I'm really looking forward to this, and this is going to be a lot of fun, so I can't wait.
Okay. In the beginning, can I have my invite card signed?
Absolutely. I'm just going to do that now for you. On this side, correct?
Work, just scribble on it.
It does work.
Okay.
There we go.
Fab.
It's done.
Harsh, how have you been? I haven't really seen you since. I mean, you don't really get out of that place very much.
That house too much.
The house.
But I'm trying to think about the last time I saw you. I saw you at Jackie's Christmas Eve party in 2000 and bringing in 2020.
Yeah. So every time you see me at a party, you just come to me and be like, what will you talk about me after this?
Yeah. No, because you never know what you're going to say. So
I'm a nice human being, Harsh. Okay, we'll keep this for later.
We'll keep this for later. But no, man. So yeah, I kind of keep a low profile. You know, I don't really. I'm not like into the whole. I love the paparazzi, you know, they're amazing people, but I'm not into that culture so much.
Fair
just
enough.
Because I think as an actor, you make a choice, you know.
Yeah.
And I completely respect the other side of it as well. So I just kind of like to keep a low profile, do my films, try and live as normal of a life as possible.
Yeah.
You know, and not pay the price of, you know, just because you're an actor, you come from a certain family, you can't do normal things that other normal people do. You know, I see myself as a regular guy.
Yeah.
So so we saw each other at that was a really fun night actually.
Yeah, it was intense.
Do you remember any of it?
The beginning parts.
Some of it.
Yeah, like a couple of other things to do after.
Yeah.
But I have a question, Harsh. I've realized that from the beginning, from when I've known you since Mirzia, you are usually like slightly shy and introverted, and like you like your own space and your little cocoon that you create. But that's not usually what's expected out of an actor in the industry, because they have like a certain rule book.
Absolutely.
Where you're like, you have to do this and appearances and like be very social and network and like meet all of these people. How do you manage this balance where you can be this because I feel like somehow you do your movies, but you're also like not seen everywhere, and like you don't do like spottings and like all of that stuff.
Right.
How do you find this balance?
It's an interesting question. It's a strange conundrum because obviously, like for example, AK versus AK came out. You know, people loved the film and the reviews were fantastic, and I didn't expect it for the part. So now in a situation like that, somebody would go out a lot. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, be spotted here, be spotted there, and make the most of that. But I I don't feel like that's long-term or sustainable for me, because that's not the life that I want for myself. You know, I want to kind of build something over a period of time. And I do realize that when you're kind of quieter, people will say a lot of things about you because they don't know you. You know what I'm trying to say? So the people that know me, like for example, Alaya knows me a little bit. Then she'll really tell you what I'm like, or my friends will tell you what I'm like, you know. So man, I think for me it's a longer road, and I'm trying to open up gradually. But I also I want to come on your show, for example, because now over the last 1 or 2 years we've built an equation of sorts, and I feel like this will be fun. So I don't want to always walk into unknown waters just for attention.
Fair.
You know? So that's the way that I see it.
And I'll be very honest with you, because I remember, I think 2 years ago, I didn't really know you that well.
At all,
right? We hadn't really, I didn't know that we had friends in common or anything like that. But I remember this one call that you made to me. And you were so sweet about a lot of things. And I remember it changing a lot of my opinions about you. And I remember calling my friends and saying, he's very sweet as a person, you know. Because I think, do you think that because you're not in the situation all the time and with everybody and chilling and like partying and being friendly, does that give out like a different vibe?
That is one part of it, and also being Anil Kapoor's son and Sonam Kapoor's brother. I mean, and then obviously my family's been in the business for so many decades. So, look, I mean, this is a world that's full of human beings, and you know, people will always. You know, I mean, sometimes people want what you have or the kind of life that you have, and so it's difficult to be happy for somebody in my situation, you know, and so I'm extremely well aware of that, which is I think why I also kind of seclude myself a little bit, because I'm a very sensitive guy, you know, and I don't want that unnecessary kind of attention. So man, I'm just trying to create my own kind of identity, you know.
But I mean, while you're doing that, to be honest, like one thing that I found very cool was when you sort of come from a certain family that's already in the business for a while, you try to stay away as much as possible, right, from the name that you would want to be independent.
Right.
But I think with AK versus AK, you sort of just owned it. You were like, fuck you, this is me, and I will play myself. It is funny, I will play an exaggerated version of myself. You deal with it however you want to.
Yeah.
How did you get there?
You know, that's a really interesting question, actually, because there's a couple of things that I'd like to talk. First of all, I'm not like that in my real life at all.
Yeah.
You know, I think the little bit that you know me, you can kind of tell your
you
friends.
Come up with like a few sentences here and there.
Yeah, like I mostly listen and I talk a little. So when I read it, see, I knew I was going to be in the film. I worked with Vikram on Bhavesh, so we had a great comfort with each other.
Yeah.
And obviously, I know about his films and I knew he wanted to make a film called AK versus AK with Dad Anurag. So the family would be a part of it. But I didn't know what my scenes were going to be, you know. And when I read the script, obviously the script was very engaging and incredible and something that you expect from Vikram, very different. But my scene, the one key monologue scene was like 6 or 7 pages long. And I was like, dude, he's done this to me on purpose, man. You know, because he doesn't want me to, he wants to see the side of me, you know. And it's a sequence where really nobody else speaks.
This is the house scene.
The house scene, the one where I put on the performance for Anurag, which is, you know, and so
it's too funny, it's too good. I remember watching it, I was like, well done.
I took the material and I went to, so I have acting coaches that I work with. Depending on the film that I have, I approach my characters differently. So I have Jeff Goldberg, who's a very close friend of mine, great acting coach. So I took the material and kind of went to him and we worked on it a lot because to make that convincing took a lot of work. You have to put in a lot of work for it to look like you've not worked on it at all. You know what I mean? And then I kind of took that monologue and added a lot of improvisations to it, like the whole Anurag Kashyap makes grey films, deep grey, that wasn't in the script. The whole Tony Montana cocaine thing wasn't in the script. The whole Vikram fuck me with Bhavesh wasn't in the script. So those were things that some things I came up with on the table read, some things I just came up with on set. Because when you get so comfortable with the material, then you can play with it, you know, and it just kind of became this thing, and I'm very happy with the way that it turned out. And I'm glad people have seen that. And the second thing that I want to say about it is, see, I started my career with 2 very intense kind of paths. And those characters are very withdrawn. Right? So in Bhavesh, the guy is he's like a very unremarkable kind of person. And I wanted to kind of bring that mundanity to his life and that ordinariness to him. Which is what the film is about, right? It's about basically an unremarkable person doing something remarkable by just taking a stand. So I wanted to take the performance out of it completely. You know, so while AK versus AK is a performance, Bhavesh Joshi is just existing. You know, and I think in India, obviously, we're used to the latter. So we're used to actors putting on performances and shows, you know. So actors generally start their careers with the whole Tod Phod and all of that, and then they do the more subtle performances later. I kind of did it the other way. But I think now with the 3 films, people can see the difference in performance.
But I have a question. You know, I realize you said that you went to an acting coach, right? And I feel like in India, especially in the Hindi film industry, we have this culture where if you're already from here, or like you've literally, like you've made a little bit, then you're sort of aversive to like going to a coach again because like you've already done acting and you've already done like a couple of movies which have done very well, and then like you're like, okay, now I know the job already, why do I have to go to a coach? Or like you're aversive to like doing an audition because then they're like, okay, why don't you just watch my movies? Do you do auditions still?
I do. I've tested for, I started testing when I tested for Life of Pi when I was like a teenager.
Oh, correct,
I tested for Criminal Justice that became the Night Of that Riz Ahmed did. I tested for Bhavesh Joshi in 2012. So I've tested a bunch. You know, I tested for Vishal Bhardwaj's Midnight Children, that didn't happen.
Correct.
So I mean, like hundreds of auditions. You know, that's the thing is people don't really know that. They don't see that side of our lives. You know, like they don't even know what a struggle it was to actually get Bhavesh going. You know, and so I tested for Raj's role in The White Tiger. Which went really well actually, but then it's obviously age, maybe sometimes you're too young for a part, sometimes you're too old for a part, so there's a lot of things that kind of go into it, but I really enjoy the auditioning process. I think it improves you tremendously as an actor. And I have different coaches that I use for different parts, man, because it's like going to an event, you know. You can't pick out the same clothes every time. You know, so you try and get people that you trust to bring out sides of you that you didn't know that you had. So,
See, like you said, there are parts that you've auditioned for till now, right, including White Tiger, that you didn't get. But is it frustrating when like people think, the perception of you is you come from this family, you go into a set or like a meeting and just get it. I think that's what a lot of people think.
Yeah, but like Renil, what can I do, man? You know what I'm saying? Like I can't, like, you know, like Karan, Johar and stuff have said some really interesting. They've like, this is going to stay with you your whole life.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, you signed up for this.
You signed up for this.
Yeah.
So just keep quiet, put your head down, do your thing, and just one performance at a time, man. You know, like I'm very happy with the last 2 films, and I think that's 2. You know, one day it'll be 6 or 7, and then that's a good amount, like a body of work to look back on. And that's so it's something that we have to build over time.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, fair enough. Why do you think people are aversive to auditions after a while, though?
A lot of things. Sometimes you feel a bit entitled to it. Maybe you're a bit insecure that, you know, you're a talented actor, but it's not going to come across in a blank room with just a camera and no co-actor. It's intimidating, you know, in that sense. But like, for example, I'm at a certain point now where I've done a couple of films, so I'm not like over there, you know, but it's not like I'm just starting. So people have seen my performances in my last 2 films. So I will audition for selected stuff. I will audition for things that I feel, you know what, that's a really, really great part, and I know they've seen my last 2 films, but they want to see me in this particular part.
Yeah.
So you have to try and understand why are those people making you test.
Yeah.
You know, and so if you trust them, then you test, man. You know?
And I think honestly, like right now, we're going to that space where the biggest of actors are testing for.
I mean, my
roles in
father,
movies,
after doing Slumdog and having a career for 30-35 years, is tested for films in the West. So it's absolutely okay. I mean, Jen Lawrence, Emma Stone, all of these people, when they really, really want a part, they go out there and it's competitive, you know. So you better be prepared. And
I mean, see, how do you figure out? See, sometimes I don't understand this whole conversation of like, this person's from a certain family.
Sure.
But at the end of the day, you can't like depart from your family, right? This is like you've been raised here.
And why would you want to?
This is like something that you should be proud of in any family for that matter.
Absolutely,
unless something terrible has gone wrong, whatever. Otherwise, you should be proud of where you're coming from. How do you do this? Because like people expect you to be independent nonetheless. Because you're like, oh, like don't talk about like the family that you come from. Show us as a talent otherwise. How do you manage these 2 demands?
Well, see, there's a certain expectation that comes with where I come from. So people will expect my films to be a certain way. They'll expect me to behave a certain way. So initially, when you're not that person, it's a bit jarring. Because then it's very easy for them to be like, oh, you know, I expected him to be like that, but you know, he's not this. So let's, you know, so it suits the narrative. It suits the agenda. But that's the thing is like, if you don't like sushi, you go to a Japanese restaurant, you just don't like sushi. The sushi might be really great, but you haven't developed a taste for it. So you go there a couple of times, and so that's what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get people to develop a taste for the kind of work that I want to do. And I think obviously in the last 12 or 18 months, the whole world has changed. And now that's kind of worked out in a way, you know, because I don't know, man, if AK vs. AK released in cinemas, how many people would have seen it? Maybe it would have done well, but we don't have that pressure of the box office in that sense. So things are kind of progressing, I think, in a good direction in that way.
Did you ever feel like when you were debuting, I'm sure you were in a good space then, but after that, when you look back, did you ever feel like because you come from a certain background, sometimes a lot of people just wait for you to fail at what you do?
100%. Absolutely, because again, like I said, it suits the narrative, right? It suits the agenda. It's very easy for them to kind of, you know, it's a lot harder to be generous and to be patient and actually identify potential. It's a lot easier to just like write someone off, you know. But the thing is, I always look at it in like a larger context. So with Mirzya, it's basically Rakesh Mehra making a art house film that's disguised as a Bollywood launch film. Let's be honest. It's not a traditional film in that sense, and we knew what we were getting into. So it's not like I read something on the page and then I went on. It was a phenomenal experience, creatively, visually, musically stunning. Very happy with the film. It just wasn't for this a certain palette. Having its flaws, etc. All of that. Again, with Bhavesh, it's not a quintessential mainstream film. You know, so whenever if I had come and done like something a lot more cookie cutter, maybe the consumerism of it would have been more. But that's not what I believe in. You know, so why pretend to be someone else? You know, so
where do you get that guts from? Where people who are your contemporaries are going for the cookie cutter roles, right? They start with that, then they're like, okay, once we establish ourselves, it's like the cookie cutter role or whatever, then we'll do like the other slightly offbeat, whatever, where they'll be like, oh, he's also an actor, you know? Where do you get that confidence and they call it guts, these days? Guts.
Guts. I think I've gone the other way. You know, like now people are kind of talking about the performances, but obviously the stardom hasn't really quite happened in that big way. So some people come first, like you said, get the stardom and then. But I mean, I just feel like this process has has developed my skills as an actor a lot. And I always wanted to work with Rakesh Mehra, Vikramaditya Motwani, Vasan Bala. I mean, these are, in my opinion, the best directors in the country. You know, and it's about the process, man, Renil. It's about the journey of making the film, and the outcome is something that you can never control. But I think the audacity or whatever you will call it really comes from the films that I've grown up watching. You know, because I've been basically grown up watching a lot of films from all over. And I didn't really grow up on a diet of Bollywood films. You know? So when I was at an impressionable age, I was watching films and that shaped my kind of mind. So now I'm not going to go and do something just because it's what everyone else is doing, you know. So I just decided to like just be like, maybe it's a bit naive and idealistic, but that's the path that I chose, and it's interesting, man. It's an interesting journey because I can't compare it to anybody else's. You know, there are no case studies, so every time I do something, I'm like, dude, whoa, you know, what's going to happen? This is so different. You know, so it's exciting.
No, I think it's a very creatively satisfying process, whatever you're doing. But is it scary though? Because you already come from a family where, even though like you didn't watch a lot of Bollywood movies growing up, you had like people around you who were in the middle of it already, right? So you knew that there was a process and a certain way of like getting into it, and like this is how you make a star and all of that.
You know, I love. I watched a lot of Hindi films growing up. Like I grew up on Udaan, Rang De Basanti. I grew up on you know, all of those films. Pukar, Nayak, my dad's Lamhe. Those are all phenomenal films. But I just didn't get so much into like the traditional, typical Bollywood film format films. You know. But yeah, I mean, there is kind of like this, like you said, like a way of making a star. You do this film, and it has these beats and these tropes, and but it was just so uninspiring for me, Renil. You know, I was like, man, you know, like, do I really? So I want to be that. Like, how important is fame to me? You know, you have to ask yourself these questions. Like, it is important to me, but not at the cost of what I want to do. You know, and I think for some people, that difference is not so much. Like they're as fulfilled with that kind of work, and then they reap the benefits of it. So I'm in a situation where, for me, the films were like really like more important. And if I get the little bit of a wider reach with doing the kind of work that I'm doing, then I'll be like so thrilled, you know. So
in hindsight, do you think if a Mirzia and a Bhavesh Joshi released on an OTT platform first, unlike the theatres that released in, do you think it would have blown up a lot more than what it did at that point in time?
Bhavesh Joshi, 1 billion million %. Absolutely. Because that's what happened to me. Now, I remember the film came out in cinemas, tanked completely, which, by the way, I wasn't like completely surprised by, because, I mean, I know the film, right? It's a 2.5-hour film about a very ordinary guy taking revenge for his dead best friend. So it's not like, and especially with a new actor. You know, if a Ranveer Singh or a Varun Dhawan is in it, it kind of brings that audience, like in October did, for example. And then I left for
Badlapur and stuff.
Like a Badlapur, because he did it after a student, you know. So I went to London after the film tanked, you know, and I was there all summer. I just left and I was like, you know what, this is going to be. And then on the 12th of August or something, it came out on Netflix, and my DMs just started blowing up. And it just became this movement on social media and digital. And dude, I swear, people do not stop talking about. They actually talk about it more than AK versus AK, really, to be honest, because I feel it's very simple and relatable in a lot of ways. It's just treated in a very un-Bollywood way.
Fair enough.
You know, and people want a sequel. They want. So I think that's a trick we missed with Bhavesh. Because I remember Sacred Games came out on July 12th, and Bhavesh came out on June 1st, and the boom just started with Sacred Games. So we were just a little late. And that's it, man. Sometimes you can make a film that you're very proud of, but you don't. It's not supposed to release in cinemas. You know, it's the wrong time and the wrong place. But I think over a period of time, the film has got its due, and it's. I'm very proud of what it is now. So, you know,
Fab, I think that's a great note, a proud note to take our first break on Bite by Roni.
Okay,
we'll take the first break on Bite by Roni, watch the commercial, sit there only, don't go anywhere, and then I'll see you guys on the other side.
We had all been dealing with so much anxiousness and anxiety during that peak lockdown. And I'm talking about like May, June, when you didn't know what was going to happen. And I was like, you know what, I need a channel to like use this. So guys, Renil didn't like Bhavesh Joshi Superhero. Everybody here that liked the film, you can now make yourself heard in the comments.
What do you mean? Why can't people have opinion?
No, I'm absolutely, dude, of course you can have an opinion. But why can't I have an opinion about your opinion? So many fantastic women out there that don't have to be models and actresses, you know, and you know, I've done that, and it can be exhausting as well.
Welcome back to Bite by Roni. Welcome back, Harsh.
Thank you.
How's it going?
I'm surviving so far. I think.
You're more than surviving. I think it's a great conversation.
Flourishing?
I like it a little bit. Flourishing.
Okay, great. Let's go with that.
I want to know, what are the other things that you're doing? You have Ray coming up on Netflix, which is an anthology, but not like it's apparently like almost the length of a feature film.
Yeah, so I think obviously the Netflix kind of revealed their slate and there's not too many details, but basically it's 4 different films all based on short stories by Satyajit Ray to celebrate Ray, and they're all individual films, so it's not like ghost stories or love stories where it's kind of tied into one film. They're all 4 films with different running times, kind of like when you watch Black Mirror, you click on season 1 and it's episode 11, 2, 3. And
so it's like a limited series.
It's like a limited series, exactly. That's exactly what it is. It's like a limited series, and obviously, I think I think the cut that people will end up seeing is about an hour, just over an hour long film. But I think we had a cut that was closer to feature length as well. But yeah, I'm very excited for people to see it. It's called Spotlight, our film. And Radhika Madan is in it, who's just an unbelievable actress.
Phenomenal actor,
Akanksha is so talented also. There's an actor called Chandan Roy Sanyal who is amazing. I got to learn a lot from him. And then we have Vasan, who in my opinion is incredible. And I got this call from Vasan. I got an actually Instagram DM saying, hey man, like, can I call you? And I'm like, yeah man. And I was speaking to him and he just said, there's this film and it's about a young actor that's, going through kind of like a turbulent time in his life. And I'm in. I'm Relatable. So I obviously we had all been dealing with so much anxiousness and anxiety during that peak lockdown. And I'm talking about like May, June, when you didn't know what was going to happen. And I was like, you know what, I need a channel to like use this. And Spotlight was so perfect, man. And I would just, I had a acting coach for it. His name is Suraj, and we would basically get on Zoom calls and we would take the script and I would hold the phone here and just walk around my room like pacing and like with all that anxiety and like try and deliver the scenes in with that edginess, you know. And obviously just kind of I was in my room for like 4 months with the script, so I just really went for it. And I'm really excited with the way that it's turned out. And I think out of the so I've done Mirzya, Bhavesh, AK, Spotlight, and I did a film now called Thar, which is also complete. I think Spotlight was the best experience that I've ever had on a film set. Bro, we were like, Renil, there were scenes where we were uncontrollably laughing. And we were not supposed to. When I'm looking at my right and the DP is like laughing and the camera shaking. And then I'm looking back at Chandan and I just can't control myself. And Vasan I can see in the corner of my eye, like just like, like...
What is like the vibe though? Is it supposed to be...
It's a comedy. It's a dark comedy. So people, I hope we can entertain people and put a smile on their face and make them laugh. But it also makes some really relevant points about our obsession with celebrity culture. And also our obsession with religion, and God women and God men. And it's just, in a really entertaining and funny way, it's very insightful. And it's just bizarre. Okay, it's plain. So get ready. If you think the films that I've done are weird so far, get ready for bizarre.
I mean, I like Mirzya, by the way.
You liked it. So you like Mirzya and AK?
Yeah.
So guys, Renil didn't like Bhavesh Joshi Superhero. Everybody here that liked the film, you can now make yourself heard in the comments.
But what do you mean? Why can't people have opinion?
No, I'm absolutely, dude. Of course you can have an opinion, but why can't I have an opinion about your opinion?
Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, I should be ready for that too. Correct.
But I get it. I know because it's not. I know why you like those films and I know why you... But that's the beauty of cinema, right? Like, it's supposed to. So so Ray is done. Spotlight's done. And so excited for people to see it. It comes out sometime now in the summer. And then I did a film called Thar. Which is a really interesting story, actually, that I want to share with you. It's a passion project for me. I was offered the film in 2018 March. When Vikram was editing Bhavesh.
2018?
March, And... that time there was no, like the OTT and stuff hadn't really happened, so we were trying to make the film for theatres and it's a new director. So it was just me and the director and the script and literally taken it to places, had a lot of doors shut in my face and then eventually it found a home at Netflix. And now it's become this large film, much bigger than what we were expecting.
Oh, very cool.
So I'm in it, my dad's in it, Fatima Sana Sheikh is in it. Mukti Mohan is there, Satish Kaushik is there. Jeetu Joshi is there. So I was there for 2 months. So that should be out in the winter. So a summer release and then a winter one.
And you're also supposed to shoot for, without taking any names, a very fun project.
Which one? Is it a comedy? What is it?
I can't talk.
It's Ria's thing?
Yeah. Yeah.
That I don't know, man. I don't know if, I mean, I'm sure Ria and I'll work together at some point, but I don't know what's happening with that film. I'm doing the Bindra biopic still.
Perfect.
We're working on the screenplay to just make sure it's at a place where it's really great, because we don't want to cut corners with that film.
Yeah.
And then there's also a film that you will love.
I love how you're categorizing me in this one category.
I'm telling you, and I have a meeting that Sumona was telling you about that film. After it's a romantic comedy. Set in Goa. It's very funny. It's like the funniest script I've read.
Oh, fun.
So that is the one that I really have my heart in, and I'm trying to put together. So that's what it's looking like right now.
Listen, from the beginning of your career, I've realized this one thing where you don't really get, what do you call it? What is that word? The industry word, like coupled with like
grouped.
No, I'm talking about like there's no link up or anything like that. How do you do this? Is it because you're like just living in that house and nowhere else?
No, it's simple. Just don't go to places in Bandra where the paparazzi basically live.
No Bandra, no Juhu.
No Bandra, no Juhu.
How you will do Juhu?
I hang out in South Bombay, man. I hang out because I the thing is I like
no paps there.
No paps, man. I like to keep my private life private.
Yeah.
And that's it, dude. Like, that's the way that I kind of like to do it, because also it's like, if you're somebody that's not like in a serious relationship with somebody, why put that pressure on it? If you're just getting to know someone, if you're casually dating, your friends, you don't even know what it is a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Why get like the whole world involved? It just takes the fun out of it. You know. I mean, if there comes a time where I'm like in a relationship with somebody for like a year and a half, and like I'm ready to like, then it's fine.
Yeah, perfect. Have you not been in a relationship in a while?
The last time I was in a relationship was 2017. Serious relationship.
Yeah, a while ago.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
I mean, I've dated girls in the middle, obviously, but nothing worth talking about, really.
Yeah, fair. How do you do this personal life to yourself situation in the middle of all of this around you and your family? You just go to South Bombay.
No, and I try and get to know people that are not from my line of work, as well, because I don't want to constantly be talking about that, man.
Yeah.
I want to get to know a lawyer. I want to get to know somebody that's in medicine. I want to get to know somebody that's in investment banking.
Yeah.
I mean, there are so many fantastic women out there that don't have to be models and actresses. And I've done that, and it can be exhausting as well. And so it's nice to kind of have that separate, like my mom and my dad in a way. My mom's not from the films.
Yeah.
And that's a good balance. But also, obviously, there's also an excitement about dating an actor.
Yeah.
Obviously, because they do the same thing that you do, right? So you can discuss work, you can talk about the craft, you can talk about the business, and that's something that kind of...
It can also be like nerve-wracking.
It can also be nerve-wracking, So that's the thing, is like, it's a double-edged sword, I feel like,
Fair enough, not bad. You're doing fine. It seems like a chill thing.
Yeah.
Good only. How are you, I wonder sometimes, I feel like sometimes when you go outside India and sort of learn, which you've done as well, right?
Yeah, studied
I feel like it comes with a certain perspective that you can use in your career as well. Do you think going outside and studying what you did helps you in any way in your career?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I got a BA in screenwriting for 4 years. Within the program, I did a year of acting. And, it made me realize how much I love acting, and it also gave me a sense of script.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, that's also a double-edged sword in a way, because it wears your sensibilities further away from Bollywood.
Yeah.
So, for example, if I had just gone to like a normal college here and gone to like I would have been maybe a lot more stereotypical in that sense, but I wouldn't trade that education for anything. So it was tremendous, and also the experience of just living abroad alone. It really makes you see the world in a very, very different way.
Yeah,
That's
totally.
Great.
When you sort of came into the industry, did you have like a 5-year plan for yourself? What did you sort of look forward to doing in the first 5 years of being
I wanted to work with the best directors. I wanted to do films that other people wouldn't. I wanted to do progressive films.
You tick them off.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what... Now, obviously, with Mirza and Bhavesh, they released in theatres and the box office didn't happen.
Yeah.
But that should be a byproduct. It shouldn't be like, my aim is that. So that was never my aim. And so kind of I've kind of achieved that in a way.
Yeah.
And obviously, now that I've done the 4 or 5 films, out of which 2 people will see this year.
Yeah.
Now I'm trying to want to broaden my horizons a little bit.
Harsh, what is like a new hero though? Because so we've had like the whole box office, and like you do a certain kind of movie, and like you get the girl and you have the songs, and like your the first day collection is this much or whatever.
Yeah, all that, yeah.
Which all of that has gone to the trash because we had this one year
That's
where
what I'm saying, yeah.
everybody realized that we have OTT, and if you want to watch good content, it's available on the internet on your phone or your laptop or on your TV screen, right? What do you think is the new hero now? Do you think like the debuts, the quintessential cookie cutter debuts that happened earlier, do you think you can still do it?
I mean, I think they'll both coexist. I mean, like Ahan has a very, like a mainstream debut. That's going to be a big film and you know, so there's that. But then there are also like really, really great actors on OTT that are kind of new and upcoming. And man, I mean, like Netflix and Amazon subscribers are growing by the second. Like, you know, and this is now. Can you imagine 6 months from now or like a year, 2 years from now? It's if you make something that reaches out, bro, it reaches out. You know, so it's not gonna. There are going to be stars that are going to be created on these platforms. So
which is happening already.
Which is happening already. Like for example, even AK was is a very small way, but like a lot more people watch that right away than they did my last film. You know, so I think that a star can be created on OTT platform and then go back to theatres. Because there will be an overlap with those audiences. You know, so I think all the rules are being rewritten, man, Renil, and that really suits somebody like me. You know, I think.
So, fair enough. How much of your family is involved? I mean, their criticism or their critique or like their love for it is involved in you picking something after a certain project?
Like picking a film?
I mean, if you did a certain kind of movie and if they critiqued and didn't enjoy that much, does that affect what you do next?
Well, you know, to be honest, so far they've liked the film.
All of that.
You know, so I don't really think that there's anything like I would change about the films. You know, that's the interesting and peculiar part. But yeah, obviously there is that kind of one eye on, oh, you know, this is too niche now. Like, stop it. Like, you know, this is like you're gonna love this in your home theater with like 10 people. You know, but
little more mass.
Yeah, little more mass, more mass. But it's also about finding that appeal in a way that doesn't dilute your creative integrity and what you stand for completely, you know. So I'm just trying to find that balance. And I think it'll happen, man. I think it's just the matter of finding the right story really to tell because, man, so that's what my focus is really on.
Yeah, I think one good thing about you is you're very comfortable with the sort of niche that you've built for yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I mean, see, the thing is, it also takes guts and courage and confidence to sort of keep doing it until it hits, you know, the bullseye. And well done to you. It doesn't come, this doesn't happen for everybody, but you're at it. I'm very, very proud of you for that.
But also, you know, there's pros and cons to it. Like, for example, a lot of people, when you're trying to put a project together, like a lot of other actors and stuff, if they're not even going to look at, like, how good you were in your last film. They're going to look at, a lot of people are going to look at, like, man, if I do a film with how many people is it going to reach? You know, so obviously you are...
Can he sell it?
So you are, there is a little bit of a compromise on that while maintaining the kind of films that I've done, which I think now, in the last 12 months, what's happened with the whole Netflix boom and stuff is really good. But it depends on the story also, Renil. Like, if I do the Bindra biopic, I think that there's an inherent appeal of that story. So then it justifies the theatrical film. So just go film by film, really. You know?
I remember watching this interview of yours that I think you and Sonam had done with each other.
With Anupama.
This was during Mirzia, I think. And Sonam was very vehemently talking about the budget and like the
female,
and which is very fair an issue. But that's also with guys, right? You sort of like when you're sort of in the when you're sort of the face of a project, they're expecting you to sell it, but also your capability of selling a movie also comes with the also results in the budget that you get for a certain movie and the scale in which you can make it. How do you sort of balance both of these with also the kind of cinema that you want to do?
That's the biggest challenge for me, really, to be honest, is because like even when I was like worked with Vikram and Vasan, and I was like, you know, I don't only want to be a choice for you guys when you're making like a 10, 15, 20 crore film. I want to be a choice for you guys when you're like making a larger film. And it takes one film to change that. You know, it takes one Uri or Kabir Singh or whatever it is to kind of change that, you know. So, but like, I don't know, man, Renil, don't you think that now with the platforms, if something like Scam blew up, like
100%.
You know what I'm saying? So you can still get the budgets, you know, because they have inherently a huge subscriber base. Now, if that subscriber base likes you, you're reaching out to that audience, right? So your budget for that audience is justified. So that's what I'm saying. So I want not only to excel there, because AK versus AK and Bhavesh people have loved on Netflix. I also want to excel in the cinemas.
Fair.
So, but obviously now it's kind of a little slower, but it'll open up, you know, so... Yeah.
Fair enough. What are the kind of movies that you want to do going forward? What are you like aiming at?
I want to do something that Renil loves.
I will love everything. I've started loving everything.
I want to know.
I have no problems with anything that you do.
I want to do lighter material. I want to do like AK. My bits were comedy, and Spotlight, obviously, that you'll see now has a lot of lightness in it. Thar is very intense, extremely intense. But I'm actually like, the thing is, because I've only played characters and kept a low profile, people don't really know what I'm like. You know, so. I want to do urban parts. I want to do lighter films, and I want to do films like Spectacular Now and Ruby Sparks and you know, those young films that have great stories and great characters, but also kind of reach out. You know,
I really think you should do a movie that Ria does, because I think there's a certain urban appeal to what
that she brings.
Does. And fuck whoever says it's family. How does that even matter? Because do it. I think it'd be a cool vibe for you.
And also, she has incredibly strong female characters. You know, which is something that I love to watch in films, and I'm completely okay with being that guy, you know, and I love those Mr. Darcy kind of characters, and I think that's something that I could really have a lot of fun with, you know. So it's just about the right kind of story kind of coming together. Like Khoobsurat is something I would have loved to do. You know, so something like that. So that's what I'm saying, man. It's like, I didn't know I was going to get the call for AK. I didn't know I was going to get this call for Spotlight. It happened, you know. So it'll happen. You know? Okay.
Before we wrap up segment 2, you said people don't know who you really are, right? Who are you really?
Who am I really? I'm very introspective, sensitive, a deep thinker, and somebody that likes to kind of really enjoys the intimacy of the quieter moments in life. You know, I'm not as comfortable in like a loud room with like 50 people. I'd much rather hang out with like one person or two people and like just spend the entire day with them. You know, so I like, even in my films, the films that I like to watch, and I like there to be a very steady pace about it. You know, I don't like it to be too quick. So that's kind of, I think, who.
When you say you're sensitive, Harsh. See, I feel like that means you're sort of like sensitive to the positives and the negatives of the business, right? I also understand from sort of talking to you that a negative aspect of something is something that affects you really badly too. I mean, you think about it, because you also said you're very introspective as a person. So I'm presuming that you're also an overthinker as a result of it. How do you sort of take in the whole negativity on social media though? Be it be anywhere, be it be on the news or on social media. How do you take that in?
I mean, the last year has been so difficult for all of us. I mean, it was just completely crazy what happened. And you know, so it was tough, man. It's tough because like it's very difficult for me to, I'm not like that, I can't like cut it off, you know. Which is again why I live this kind of way in a sense, you know. And it's just something I guess I got to get better at, man. You know, it's just something I guess I got to get better at. And like, I just have to be more detached from it. But also like I'm more careful about putting myself in situations where I don't want to give anybody the fodder to say something like bad about me. But then, dude, if people want it, they will. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing that I can do about it. But I think for all of us, and not just me, after everything that's gone down with COVID and everything that we've been through in the last year and the negativity around us, we have to make this place a positive place for us to live and you know, just feed off the positivity of each other. What are we really going to gain by trying to like bring each other down on like hearsay? It's really toxic. It's uncalled for, because like you're working hard, you're like driven, you're trying to do good work, and then somebody is saying something so pointless and untrue. And it's just like, dude, like, man, I'd rather not even do this. You know what I'm saying? Like, why am I doing this? You know, I have a good life. I don't need this, you know, so I don't like to kind of get into that space. Which is why, like you said, I do the films, I keep a low profile, and then people can see the films, you know. I don't want to be on Instagram pages every day, you know, so.
So let's forget the hate. I think this is a good note to close our segment 2. So you guys take the final break on By Environy. When we come back is something we call Quickie. These are quick questions and quick answers, nothing else. Okay. I'll see you guys on the last segment. What is an industry relationship rumor you believe is true or is just a PR move?
Vicky and Katrina together, that's true.
That's true. Yeah. They're so sweet together. No? I find that very cute.
I mean, am I going to get into trouble for saying this? I don't know. Very picky about the kind of women that come into my life. Like, nobody is good enough, you know?
Did they have like an opinion about people who were in your life before, who you've briefly dated?
Yes.
Complete the sentence. My first time was.
Okay, my first time was when, I'm just going to be courageous. My first time was when I was 15.
Welcome back to By Environi. Harsh, welcome back.
Thank you.
We have this situation that has entered our set.
I've seen it.
For you to win this, you have to be good at this. You're not competing with anybody at this game called Quickie.
Okay.
These are quick questions and quick answers, which are supposed to come from your end.
Sure.
I will do the question part.
Great.
But since you're not competing with anybody, you have to please me.
I will. Okay. I will. That's my life's purpose anyway.
Your goal. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll just ask you these very, very simple questions, very chill.
Sure.
Just fire away.
Got it.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah.
What is an industry relationship rumor you believe is true or is just a PR move?
Vicky and Katrina together, that's true.
That's true. Yeah. They're so sweet together. No, I find that very cute.
I mean, am I going to get into trouble for saying this? I don't know.
No, I think they're quite
open about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're sweet about it. Who's the biggest diva you've ever worked with?
The kinds of films that I've done don't lend themselves to divas really on set, you know. I wish I could give you like an answer, but no, man.
It's probably like the interview that you did with your sister.
Which one?
I mean, that was the only interview that you did, no?
Yeah.
I mean, I can only think of your sister.
Oh, like a female big star?
Not necessarily. It can also be a guy or a girl or whatever. Diva in the sense like someone who's like, yeah.
I'm sorry to bore you, but I haven't really worked with any divas.
That's fine. That's fine. You don't have to.
Yeah, I just want to be honest.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Sanjana or Alaya, who do you think is the best debutante that has come recently?
Well, I haven't seen Jawani Janeman or Dil Bechara, but I've seen. The thing is, I know Alaya really well.
Yeah.
So I'm very it's very difficult for me to not pick Alaya.
You're biased.
Yeah, no, but I mean also she's so hardworking.
Yeah.
I used to tell her this as well. Where, is that I don't think I've ever met someone as hardworking and dedicated to her craft and just so eager to improve every day.
Yeah.
You know, and then her film came out and people really liked her in it, which is only because of the work that she's put in.
Yeah, true.
So very proud and hope to get a chance to work with her one day. I think we'd actually do really well together.
Yeah.
Sanjana, very pretty. Obviously has a great vulnerability and
know this answer.
Innocence.
Something didn't need to know this explanation. I just
Why?
wanted you to pick one.
Let me say nice things about people.
Go for
See,
it.
we talked about the positivity that we're going to spread.
Correct.
We promised each other.
Yes.
So Sanjana, very pretty, has a great vulnerability about her and so exciting. You know, want to work with Sanjana as well.
Yeah. Perfect. Sara or Ananya, who's the better actor?
Well, I thought Sara and Kedarnath was just fantastic.
Yeah.
You know, and I haven't seen Simba. I've seen Student of the Year, but I think Ananya is also extremely talented, and I think in Shakun's film now, she's going to be phenomenal.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
She's very talented. Yeah.
Which one is a movie you refused that turned out to be a big hit or a soft nothing at the box office?
Me?
Yeah, whichever.
Well, I didn't refuse. I was supposed to do Andhadhun.
Correct.
And then Bhavesh Joshi kept getting delayed because of some problems with the production.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, I had to let the film go because I needed to spend time learning how to play the piano.
Yeah.
And I couldn't give that prep time. So very sadly, the film slipped away. So,
fair enough. Yeah. But I think you've spoken about this before.
Yeah. And I went on Karan's show and people thought that I had said no to the film, which wasn't true.
Yeah.
So,
Who pulls the biggest paycheck at home?
I think I would say Dad.
Yeah.
But Sonam's very well paid as well.
Pretty close.
But I would say Dad.
Dad. Yeah. How much would you charge Harsh to dance at a wedding? Shimana's staring at me. Shimana's like, what do you mean?
No, nothing, because I don't think I'd be very good at it.
What do you mean?
I don't, because, first of all, I don't like weddings and I'm not the best dancer. So I think people would hire me for other things, you know.
What do you mean? What are these other things?
Not what you're thinking. Actually, maybe that.
Very, very wrong. I think people would hire me for other things.
Stand-up comedy.
Stand-up comedy.
Stand-up comedy, I could put on a performance. I could walk ramps.
Yeah.
I could make short films. So those things. But yeah, so that's probably my answer.
Fair enough. What do you love the most about your sisters and what do you hate the most?
Generosity.
That's what you love the most.
Love the most. Generosity, open-mindedness, and also ambition and drive. It's very difficult for two girls to kind of achieve what they have.
Yeah.
And obviously people will have their opinions and say what they want, but the results are there to be seen.
True.
They've built a brand together. They've had many hits. Riya's only had successful films. Khoobsurat, Veere Di Wedding, Aisha.
Yeah.
And at a time when they made Aisha, 2009-10, nobody was doing those kinds of films. You know, so people seem to forget that very quickly. But they're achievers, and what I don't like about them is they're very very picky about the kind of women that come into my life. Like nobody is good enough, you know.
Did they have like an opinion about people who were in your life before, who you've briefly dated?
Yes.
Do you not date them because of that?
No.
No. It's fine.
But sometimes they can be very like, cut it off before it even ignites,
Yeah,
you know.
fair enough. Okay, who's one contemporary of yours whose talent that you look up to once in a while?
I think Ranbir is incredible, you know. I think he's very natural, and also Ranbir has managed to understand with a lot of his films. I think he's experimented as well, but he also knows what he needs to do to reach out to people. You know, like he'll try and experiment with a Bombay Velvet, but then he'll do an Ae Dil Hai Mushkil because he realizes that, you know, now I need to reach out to a wider audience. So I think that while I can do the experimental stuff, I want to find the balance of the mainstream stuff. So that's something that I really look up to him for, is versatility.
Whose social media game...
Don't ask the question. If you're having that reaction, don't ask the question.
No, I have no reaction. Cut the reaction. Whose social media game is more exciting than their movies?
I can't answer that.
What do you mean?
A blogger that's not done a film, how can I demean an actor like that? No. That's so unfair. That's so wrong.
Yeah, but we'll have to wait for the blogger's movie to come out first.
Whose social media is more exciting than their films? I can't answer. I'm so sorry, man. I can't answer that.
I mean, you can finish the sentence however you want. Complete the sentence. My first time was...
My first time doing what was it?
I don't know. I've just asked, well, you can...
Okay, my first time was when... I'm just going to be courageous. My first time was when I was 15.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Complete the sentence. I'd rather be single than date.
I'd rather be single than date somebody that's dating me for the wrong reasons.
Okay. What are wrong reasons for you?
I mean, who you are, where you come from.
Fair enough.
You know, I mean, come on, let's not kid ourselves.
Yeah.
You have to be a good judge of character, you know. So, that's...
Has that happened to you before?
Multiple times.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't like playing the victim or anything because obviously dude, relationships are complicated. You know, there are times where, you know, you've been a bit self-involved and self-indulgent and not been empathetic enough.
Yeah.
And then there are times where it cuts both ways. Correct. You know, so I'd rather be single than have to go through that experience again.
I am not making this up, okay? It's right here. I will show it to you
Somebody
later.
has made it up, no, Renil?
No, I mean, see, I'm not making it up now. It's on the question. I'm not saying because of anything that you've told me later. Which one is one link-up rumor of yours that was or is true?
You said that I've not been linked up with anyone.
I don't know. I'm asking if there's anyone.
No one.
It says right here.
What? But there's no one.
No, I'm not saying the answer is here. I'm saying
the question, no, there's no one.
No one.
No.
Who's an actor who changed a lot after success but for the better?
Ranveer, I think, has used his success really well.
Yeah.
Done great films like Gully Boy. Yeah. But also can cater to the masses with doing a film like Simba. Yeah. Again, balance. Yeah. You know, very, very impressive.
Quite a study.
Quite a study. But you know, the thing is that is because he is so talented.
Yeah.
And that's what he enjoys. Yeah. So my father always pushed me to do things that I enjoy.
Yeah.
Like even you're doing what you enjoy. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So as long as we do that, then we'll be happy.
Yeah,
you know?
Fair enough. Who's an actor or an actress you'd love to see pole dance? I'm not specifying.
An actress that I'd like to, I obviously prefer a woman over a man.
I mean, it could be funny also.
Yeah, but no, I'm not.
So Varun once doing it.
I'm not.
I was like, don't do this, it's fine.
I think Jacqueline is really, she's trained as well. Yeah. And she's very muscular and taut and like she's got the body of a dancer. Yeah. So I would say Jackie.
That's where he went also, Varun.
I know.
Trainer.
Yeah.
One day I saw Jacqueline at, I think, Diwali only.
I saw this on Instagram.
I met the trainer there and he was like, where is the trainer? The other day he's on the pole with Jacqueline. I was like, great, good for you. Who, according to you, has the most OTT gym looks?
I think Varun's in the gym a lot now with Prashant dancing and doing all sorts of things. But he's very entertaining, man.
Yeah,
I love him. And also his relationship with Prashant is adorable.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's superb.
This is that gym. Final question. Have you ever called the paps?
No.
Just shut up.
Dude.
You have never done one spotting, nothing you have never done.
Maybe. I mean, I don't really...
I mean, it's a game in the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, I guess like this is a screening of my film. Do you guys want to come? I guess if that counts. No?
Never. Like that though is like, obviously you have to do it.
But I don't call them to airports and all, bro.
No, what about like, I'm going to this restaurant today, come?
No. Are you mad or what? I run away from...
Shimona, I want confirmation on this. Shimona, tell truth.
He doesn't, never.
Never.
He has a problem with it or what?
No.
I will keep this part in the episode. That's why I'm asking. Never.
Bro, I don't think people are interested in seeing me in
What a nonsense. What is the self-deprecation you're doing?
telling you, man.
This is what you're doing. You're trying to get those sympathy votes.
What rubbish. No.
People don't want to see me.
No, I mean, I think people would, hopefully, I'd wish and pray that they like to see the films that I do, but I don't think that they're interested in who I'm having dinner with or what I'm eating and how much oil and butter is in my food.
Try it. I'm very interested to see this. I'm telling you.
Only you are.
I want to see where you're going, which dinner, who you're having dessert with. All of this I want to know.
You're going to start spying on me.
I don't have to. Everyone who's going sends me messages after.
That's true.
Like rate out of 1 to 10.
That's true.
You rated well, not bad.
Rated well?
Yeah.
I think a 7. Some of your questions are very controversial, huh, bro? I must say.
Yeah, but you attempted them very well. There we go. You can eat after this.
The strawberry thing I'm definitely going to have for
If you're
sure.
on diet, I don't know how much you can because we don't prefer diet on this show.
This is great. Thank you so much for this.
Thank you. Please sit down. I will conclude it. Harsh, thank you for coming on By Invite Uni. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
This was actually a great conversation also.
We should do this again.
Yeah, 100%.
We should do this again, and we should probably do it with somebody else, like when we're doing like a film or something.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah,
Be great.
100%. I had a great conversation. Usually I don't do so much conversation, but I like talking to you a lot.
That's
the
awesome.
Second segment I just changed into another conversation.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Did you have fun?
I had a great time. I just really hope I don't get into trouble if I don't really think I've offended anyone.
No, I don't think so. I think you're fine. Okay, you're very much in the safe space. You got the hamper because you pulled out those sympathy votes at the end. I'm kidding. You gave some good answers.
Thank you.
But thank you so much. And all the best for Ray that's coming out. And Dhar is after. And then whatever you're shooting for next and the meeting that you're having.
The Renil Abraham film. It's a film catered to you.
Oh, that's correct.
Yeah.
For me.
It's for you. You're going to love it.
I need a credit, like dedicated to...
Yeah. Special thanks. With, when somebody passes away, those photos come at the start.
I'll send one picture like that with one garland on me.
Yeah.
I'll send it. It'll be damn cool. I'll send it also.
I'll put it also, yeah.
Thank you so much. Also, thank you for tuning in, you guys. I'll see you guys next week, same place, same time. And you please keep coming back because you're always invited on.
Thank you so much.